Part 5. Blameless to Superheroes. Chapter 39. The Blame Game. The next level of training to make our wounds less sticky isn't as immediate as the hypervigilance needed when you're in the thick of battle. As I wrote earlier, we need 68% understanding of our stories so we can let them go. I trust you get that giving it a precise number is a joke, but we need a certain amount of understanding that our running narrative about life are not the way things are. We tend to be fascinated by our stories, many of which are based on wounds. What I've discovered is that when we're sufficiently grounded in happiness, we'll stop picking at our sores with such painful need. As the Dalai Lama said, emotions come and go with greater ease. There's a saying that derives from ancient Buddhist teachings, a medicine of sorts to help us alleviate long-term pain. Drive all blame into one. It's based on the perspective that our problems are an inside job. We can't get to happiness through blaming others, or even ourselves. The problem is to be solved, not judged. Driving all blames into one is a radical responsibility and a cherished opportunity. Now that we know the problem is ours, it's up to us to repair and release the pain. Very empowering, ours to fix. This is difficult territory on the journey because tragic and horrendous things do sometimes fall on us from the sky. I'm not saying we dropped the bombs on ourselves or made someone else hurt us. I'm saying that whatever the circumstances, they're ours to live with. Driving all blames into one is a way to stop hurting ourselves over and over. It's one of the contemplation techniques I spoke of earlier, similar to the way Einstein approached his physics hypothesis. You enlarge your view of cause and effect to the point that you see how a butterfly's wings in the Caribbean could cause a typhoon in Taiwan. Mathematically, it's possible. In life, we often don't know what causes what or how we end up here and not there. Widening our perspective softens our certainty about the events of our lives. It's not what we don't know that gets us into trouble, goes the saying often attributed to Mark Twain. It's what we know for sure that just ain't so. I believe in past lives and assume that some awkward situations and benefits in this life derive from events in past ones. Whether or not this is true, this perspective helps me let go of blame because I acknowledge that I don't know all the ins and outs of what's going on. I don't have all the information about past interactions or other factors. There have been events in my life that engendered narratives I got stuck on for years, and they weren't nearly as heavy as being a victim of assault, rape, or war. But I've also learned that the medicine of driving all blames into one has been crucial in allowing me to let go of these stories and move into happiness. I repeat this phrase to soften and release blame. There's a Hawaiian technique called oponopono, to make right, for moving past blame that I use and recommend. At some point in the process of trying to make sense of things, you realize they just don't. Ho'oponopono, in part, alleviates blame through taking responsibility. Dr. Hugh Lin, a psychologist who worked with the mentally ill in Hawaii, used to lead Ho'oponopono workshops where he explained why the phrases below work. In his view, any problem you have is yours to deal with. You take the responsibility to clean it, because you're the one who's there. You repeat the phrases, I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. The phrases go beyond the logic of blame and function on the heart-brain level to enlarge our sense of who's doing what to whom. It's medicine to heal our wounds. Again, after repeating these phrases silently for 10 minutes, do the happiness scan. Are you lighter? Happier? Wire not knowing, not being so sure about fault, into the brain as joy.